All right, and welcome. This is Nick Marine presenting Let's Learn Japanese, course series for the self-study of Japanese from basics and beginnings up to intermediate and hopefully advanced. So if you'd like to support the Let's Learn Japanese project, the links to the Patrons are down below. Patreon is down below. Also, if you like the video, give it a like and a subscribe. I guess that's usually what they say, like and subscribe. What I don't recommend, don't ring the bell. You don't need notifications for these live streams. They're not really that important. They're mainly for my benefit than anything else. All right. Also, if you on Patreon, if you'd like to hire me for tutoring services, that can be done via the Patreon. So the prices for the per hour are given there. Okay, and I think that's the usual spiel that I completely butchered, but there you go. I did say I was going to do this Friday and Sunday, and I ended up doing it neither. So okay, yeah, that's my bad. I suck. But anyway, back to it. So we're almost done with this. We're here on the Let's Read Japanese. For those of you who don't know, the idea is up above is going to be playing a video which I'll be reading along to. Off to the side will be the text I'll be reading along with the video. Come across something I'm not know what it means, I just pause, look up the meaning real quick, and then carry on. Occasionally throughout, I'll give my own personal commentary. It'll most likely be in English. But yeah, it's probably something you don't see done very often, which is somebody watching something in Japanese and talking about it in English. So there you go. Recently it's been anime shows. In fact, the next series is also going to be an anime, the seasons 2 and 3 of Attack on Titan, Shingeki no Kyojin. After that, I'm going to try to go back to either doing live actions and maybe even audiobooks, depending. Yeah, try to keep it at that, in that area. Recently, I haven't been doing the immersion that I should be doing. I haven't been doing the reading that I should be doing. I'm not talking about for the live streams, just talking about personally. So I need to get back up on the horse. It's not a bad thing, but yeah, again, thing with the languages, the more you put into it, the more you're going to get back. And, you only got so many, whatever you do a day, then really a language learning is a integration of all the things you've done. So if you only done 30 minutes this day, an hour the other day, 10 minutes another day. So if he's only did a little bit every day, and so you add it all up, that's what you get. Whereas if you're doing 4 or 5 hours a day, every day in 6 months, you compare it to the one who was only doing it 30 minutes an hour every day. Again, there's not going to be any comparison. One who was doing it 4 to 5 hours a day. And I'm not even talking about direct study. Let's say if you're just doing what I'm doing here, you're probably going to notice be at a much better level. Just because. Now, I think if you compare the people who would just do what they consider just immersion, what I call passive immersion, which is you just watch it. And there are people who say, oh, yeah, I would just prefer to watch Japanese shows for 6 hours a day. Okay, that's passive immersion. You haven't made an effort to understand what you're watching. So whatever you learn from Japanese is through through the media itself. And compare that to someone who might do the same number of hours, but they do it what I call active immersion. In other words, they take time to try to figure out what they don't know. I can't prove it. I'm just gonna guess is that the person who made an effort to find out stuff they don't know is going to be at a better level, even though they both spent the same amount of time watching the same amount of Japanese. All right, one just made sure hey, I don't know what this is. Let me see if I can figure out what it is. All right, and the other is okay, I don't know what it is. But I don't really need to know what it is because I can still enjoy the story. So I don't know if there's been an experiment, but yeah, again, I would put money on the second person. Now, the question is going to be the other version of it, which is the person who spends an hour or two studying directly. So here's either via going to a language school, self-study, something to where they're using structured material to learn Japanese. And if you compare that time to someone who's spending, and then let's say they did 2 hours of that and then 4 hours of watching Japanese for either active immersion or passive immersion, how are they going to all compare? I have no freaking clue. So it's part of me feels like, though, it's like, from what I've seen from people who do really good are the ones who make an effort to find out what they don't know in some way. Now, when you do Anki or stuff like that, that's studying. So you're just testing what you don't know. So there's some good benefits to that. But you kind of do that anyway when you see something you don't know or you think you might have missed the context, so you look it up. So and again and from what I've seen also, though, the ones who get more immersion are the ones that sound better. Like they feel more comfortable. They sound more fluid. I've listened to people who have done language schools, and it is, to say stilted. I mean, maybe I'm stiff. I mean, it just sounds different. Like it doesn't sound as natural. But they probably understand Japanese quite well. They're just not speaking it quite well. Maybe it's because of, again, the forced output, and their forced output in where they're forcing themselves to talk in a polite form, which is a very stiff form of talking. It's not a normal way you speak Japanese. It's not the polite form. It's a formal. I think formal is a better way of describing. Same as you have humble and honorific way of speaking. The comparisons are, and kind of funny thing is that also that's all about output, and none of it has to do with input, where it's about, hey, do you understand what's going on? Like you watch a show, do you know what it means? Which I think is going to be really what you're looking for. At least now I'm realizing that's what I'm enjoying. I like the idea of watching something, understand what I watch, and having enjoyment. And I get better enjoyment when I know what's going on. So I like where I'm able to look up stuff real quick, see, okay, what is it I'm missing in the storyline, and then now I don't feel like I'm lost as I'm watching it. That's all. It's just my own personal thing. And again, I've done experiments where I didn't pause anything, but I was still looking it up, like quickly hover over a word, see what it means real quick. Okay, cool, and then follow along with the story. That's about it. And that one's kind of interesting because you're not gonna. I'm trying to think on that. It's I don't know. I have found that was fun to do. It's it is something interesting. What I haven't done personally is take the time out where I see something I don't know and I punch it into Anki. You can do that. That is possible. I just, again, but I have done it where I try to learn everything I didn't know in a show. And that was like when I first started doing the sentence, the drama subsessor using dramas and whatnot. And that is not a good idea. I mean, because there's so much in Japanese you don't know. But again, there's stuff that like you really don't need to know that. Like it was only important for that one particular episode, and it never shows up again. In either that one particular episode or that one particular show. And you don't see it in any other drama for a long time. So that meant, you spent a lot of effort on something that just wasn't that important. And it's the same amount of effort that you would have spent for something that would have been important, that would have popped up later. And then, of course, you could find out where you're spending time putting stuff in Anki that really you didn't need to, because you were going to learn it through the immersion process anyway. Like just through once you learned what it meant, you've got that one part where now when you hear it, you comprehend what the word is. Then you notice that word all the time. Like then basically it's just, you just needed immersion to do it. You didn't need Anki at all. So it's there are some gives and takes here, and this is nothing new I haven't said before. But it's just something I was thinking about today, because I just happened to see a Matt vs. Japan video with Oriental Pearl. I'm not sure what her YouTube moniker was, but anyway, it was an interesting interview. I do recommend check it out. There's nothing wrong there. Since it's in English, if that's your native language, put it on like 1.25 speed or 1.5 speed and let's do it real quick. They go over some decent points, and even their disagreement video, there wasn't really too much disagreement, so that was kind of cool as well. What I would probably disagree when I saw that video is just that I split the concept of literacy, keep fluency and literacy as two separate concepts. So literacy would be the spoken form of the language, so how well you can listen and how well you can speak for the output. Literacy is how well you read for the input, how well you write for the output, if that makes sense. I think that's, and then, again, how to rate it. There is, I think, for output, when you do output, you know, I'm not even saying like, hey, don't listen to something only for 6 months, which again, that's kind of like an arbitrary number Matt made up. Instead of that, it's just like, hey, if you output, there should be a native there to correct you because you're gonna be fucking something up. And but there is like, you know, you need to listen a lot because, you know, you may not notice, because I even notice that with, you know, students when I'm teaching English. And if you've ever taught someone Japanese, you notice that the things that the L and the R is the biggest thing to mess up. And with L, the way I treat, you know, how I teach to pronounce the word, the letter R, you know, the R, is I teach them to say wa, and then do the guttural sound, the R, in the throat, and then kind of merge the two. So ra ra ra. Then they go in ra ra. Okay, that's the only but that's a trick. But it seems to work. I mean, so that's an early trick I learned. With L, they're pretty good with L anyway, so that didn't take as much effort. They just make sure it's more of a roll as opposed to a tap. You know, learning, you know, I learned like when they'll say B, they're very good about talking without moving the upper lip. Some of I think mainly the girls, like they can talk while they're smiling, and so they actually learn how to talk without using the upper lip. I was noticing that, so I kind of forced them to, not force, but I kind of stressed using the you know, again, put the lips together for the B and the P sound, for that, or for the M and definitely the M sound as well. Again, I could be wrong. Maybe there's nothing wrong. I just thought like, yeah, for those particular pronunciations, the lips have to come together, for example. But that was just stressing pronunciation from a single syllable standpoint, and then combining them, then slowly word by word. And by me as being a native English speaker, it wasn't about my ability to teach them how to pronounce stuff. It's just that I can notice if I hear they're pronouncing it wrong. And then I say, okay, here, let's stop. This is quickly how you would pronounce it. And, you know, single words. And, you know, not try, again, these are kids for the most part. You know, some adults are, depending on the classes, but majority are children. You know, just, you do have to, if you're going to have them output, it can't just be they hear it and repeat it. Because they're going to think they're saying, and I think Matt had the right on this, is that they're going to hear it and you're going to say it. They're going to think they're saying it correctly, but because they've never had that ear developed, they're going to be saying it wrong. So just something of interest. And I'm guilty of not hiring a native like through iTalk. I used to, but to practice on output. Yeah. And because I'm trying to think of what's a good way to practice output where I don't have to depend upon the educational ability of the teacher. I don't want the teacher to teach me. I don't want them to have some type of plan for teaching. Whereas it's going to say, like before it was, I wanted them to watch me review Japanese material. And then when I say words, I wanted them to correct my pronunciation of the words. That seemed to be okay, but so maybe now it's going to be where maybe I'll find a workbook. And I want them to go through the workbook with me. Let's say Genki workbook, just for S&Gs. And go through the Genki workbook. But when I answer the workbook, it's like we do it verbally. And so they don't have to think too much about asking me what to do. Like the workbook is, and so it's like, here's Genki 1. Okay, let's go through that real quick. Here's Genki 2. And it shouldn't be that difficult because it's going to be, oh, yeah, here's a very simple question. Well, then my level should be able to give it. If Genki 1 is so fucking simple, then we can do this verbally, and let's work on pronunciation. And hopefully you avoid the prep, because if you ever look at a Genki 1 workbook, you realize how stupid it is because they do watashi wa all the fucking time. You want to avoid that. And I apologize for going into this whole blog. I keep saying this, go into a blog point. The whole point of this is let's read Japanese. But anyway, part of it was going to be, okay, how do we develop output, and then how do you gauge it? And I think for gauging literacy and fluency for output, it's, can you listen to a one-sentence question and output a one-word answer? And for, like, let's say 1,000 different things, okay? Then you should have basic comprehension. That's like super basic. And then getting up to higher level, can you listen to a paragraph of someone talking for a paragraph's worth of 5 sentences. Can you give a sentence reply to what you've heard? A question referring to that to what you've heard. So that tests your listening ability of listening to 5 sentences or reading 5 sentences and then giving a reply, either written or verbally, in 1 sentence, like for something. And then at a more higher level, then it's, can you listen to like essentially 5 paragraphs worth of information and give a paragraph reply, either spoken or written. I think in something like that, you can then have a resource available where, hey, here's all the pages of stuff that, again, it's just the native presents that to the person, either audio or written, and then see what the reply back is. And then the native is the one who gauges, like, did this person do it correctly, in a fluid manner or in a literate manner, and go from there. And I think that you can do that in a structured way where you're not limited to the creativity of the native, because again, different. Whereas a native, you really want because they're there to tell, like, yeah, that's right, or no, that doesn't sound right. You don't have to worry about, can they come up with all of a sudden here, create a 5-paragraph story for the student. It's like, whereas you can, here's a workbook, and then go through the workbook and get the reply back. And hopefully it's not a teaching, it's a gauging, like, okay, here, I'm not trying to teach you anything new. You should already know this stuff. Now let's go and see how well you reply to it. Anyway, I'm done with that. Done with talking about that. Let's get started with Fullmetal Alchemist. This is episode 61, He Who Will Swallow the Sun, or something like that. We're near the end. Okay, there's 4 episodes left. Okay, I'll do 2 of them today, 2 of them most likely tomorrow. I keep saying that. But anyway, try to do 2 today, 2 tomorrow, and see how this goes. Cool? It's been a great story. I hope they stick the landing. I assume they stick the landing because I haven't heard anything bad about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. So there's that. I was disappointed with the first one. In fact, so disappointed because they kind of played the whole alternate parallel universes for the first anime. This one, much better. I like their take on it here. And anyway, so with that, let's get started. Okay, put on 2 earphones. Maybe. Alrighty. Shush.
太陽はオス、男性を表し。
Male, 男性。
月はメス、女性を表す。太陽と月が交わるということは、雌雄同体。
Male and female form. Was that androgynous? No, ichidotai, same body. Hermaphrodite. Okay.
つまり、完全な存在を表す。完全な存在って不老不死のことかな。もっとすごいもんじゃね？もっとすごいもの？例えば神様とか。
そうだ、来い。もう貴様に縛られ続ける私ではない。地に引きずり下ろし、我が身の一部にしてくれよ。
Okay, that's a different intro right there. Just the credits and not the... Yeah, looks like everyone's dead. Or not really that they're dead, just that their spirit's been separated from their body. That happened last episode. Easy.
みんな無事なのか？何があった？
ご苦労だった人柱諸君。
やりやがったな。
おう、手に入れたよ。
It's a bit like Edward. Yeah, let's see.
神よ。
神だと？そんなことが
できるんだよ。膨大なエネルギーがあればな。
東大。Oh yeah, great.
エネルギー？賢者の石？
まさか。じゃあもうみんな賢者の石に。
Where are we at?
一体何人が犠牲に？
この国の人口はおよそ5000万人だ。
50 million? Trying to think, 50 million population. That's yeah, I would think Russian level in the 19th century, early 19th century. I could be wrong though. So before it was 500,000 in each of their bodies, and so now it's like 100 times that. So okay, I guess godlike would be a good way of describing it.
やろう！くそ！
術は封じたよ。さらばだ、諸君。
Sarabada. Come back here. Sarabada, shogun.
お前、それ。
神を手に入れた私は今や手のひらで太陽を作ることさえ可能なのだ。解き放ってみようか。
解き放つ。やなってみようか。
ここで。
お前が神とやらを手に入れた時から。すでに逆転劇は始まっているんだよ。
A reverse drama? 逆転劇。
長い年月をかけ、計算に計算を重ね。
There we go.
この日のために俺の中の賢者の石を、仲間をこの国全土に配置しておいたのさ。時が来た。あやつめはやってはならぬことをしたのだ。
I wonder what Yatsume is. Yatsuo Iso. Okay, so it's like a very low level of talking. What is it? Mijimete? Mijimete? Pathetic. Yatsume wa ya.
我らに戻る体はもはやない。だがアメストリスの人々には戻るべき体がある。
そうね。彼らの魂を。元の体に戻してあげましょう。
賢者の石を打ち込んだだけか。所詮は天。縁がなければ実は発動せん。 錬金術の基本だ。
発動。
縁ならあるさ。
縁ならあるさ。
俺にもしものことがあっても勝手に発動してくれるとびきりでかくてパワーのあるやつがな。日食によって大地に落ちる月の影さ。
先に行くよ、ホーレンハイム。
That's clever. So make sure I read that. He's using the eclipse itself as the symbol, as the circular symbol. See, I was thinking like he would have to like carve out the entire place, but instead he didn't cheat. He took a shortcut, a very smart shortcut at that. So it was clever.
どうあっても邪魔をするか。ホーレンハイム。
そのためにここに来たんだよ。フラスコの中の小人、ホムンクルス。
So yeah, it's kind of cool. It does look like the Eye of God again. Now, hopefully none of the spirits got mixed up and took the wrong body. That would be kind of confusing. Oh, okay.
やっと見つけた新しい朝は月日が邪魔をするウィンディ大丈夫か
今の
俺たち
Okay, Shazad saying, best anime, good choice, also super cool that you can read this. Okay, oh yeah.
意識が飛んでたのか
Alex NG, hey.
ピナコさんたちも。
そのようだね
しかし今のはなんて言うんだろう。こう
苦しみの渦の中にいるような感じだった。
Usu? Maybe I'm, because that's usually like slippery, but Eddie? Spiritual eddies. Kurushimi no Uzu no naka ni.
やったのか
アメストリスの人々の魂がそれぞれの体へ帰った。元から持っていたセルクセス人の魂だけでは奴が神と呼ぶ者を抑え込んでいられないだろう。
See if that one Osai Konderu. Osai Kon. Probably hold down. Let's see. Osai Tsukete. Looking at basically I'm being held down or constrained. Okay, Shazad asking how long you've been studying? Yeah, that's a complicated question, but yeah, a long time, but also I've been kind of sucking at it, so yeah. Oh, okay.
賢者の石はまた作ればいい。
まだ作ればいい。
1億でも
1億でも
10億でも
10億でも
人間というエネルギーはいくらでもある。
死の力の流れを読み利用するのは伝短術師のお箱。しかも向こう
アホアホコおはこ One's for te. Interesting though. あ、アホコ。
この力が大きければ大きいほどこちらが利用できる力も大きくなるんです。
Basically reversing the flow force against them.
おじさま、正面。
Whoa, whoa.
くそエネルギーの総裁が間に合わん。
Right. So Satsu. Self-defeating? Cancels off offset. So say. So say. 踏ん張ってください。踏ん張る。Probably like withstanding, like basically a foothold. Dig in your feet. Let's brace oneself.
防御の陣が壊れる。
てめえこの野郎気抜くんじゃねえぞ。
参ったねこりゃ。ボンクラ親父だけどいいとこ見せたくなっちまうな。
早くしないと父さんの中の賢者の石が尽きる。
まだかすか。
ねえ石もある陣よ。錬金術は物質の構築は僕の想像したる石原への冒涜ではなかったのか。
バンブス。Let's see what that one is real quick. 冒涜。
神を捨てたのか。貴様らにとって神とは所詮その程度の存在か。いいな。
いいな。
石バールの内乱で絶望を知った貴様は心のどこかで思っていたはず。神などこの世界のどこにもおらんと。
Jeez. Phew.
天運も神も信じていなかったが
天から与えられた運命. Yeah, so that's the, I know that's God's words or the fate, okay, will of heaven. 天も神も信じて
こういうの天は我に味方せずとでも言うのかね。天は粋な客をよこしたものだ。
Pure? 粋な、うん。天は粋な客。
祖父の敵討ちか。
敵討ちか。うん。
それもよかろう。
言い残すことはないか。
ない。
悲しい人生だ。キングブラッドレー、貴様には愛する者はいなかったのか。友は、妻は
妻か。
その者に残す言葉は何もないというのか。貴様がホムンクルスだと知ったら。
愛だの悲しみだのとくだらぬ言葉を垂れ流すな小娘。舐めるなよ。あれは私が選んだ女だ。私とあれの間に遺言などいらん。
うん。
王たる者の伴侶とはそういうものだ。
See, that's a fool. 王たる者。See that one. 伴侶 companion. That right there. Interesting. That makes it easier because that's like spying, so the person's got your back, he's your companion. But yeah, but Hangyo.
くだらぬ問答をしているうちに。
I've seen Mondo as like reply or answer, questions and answer. Okay, Mondo. くだらぬ問題を。
敵を打ち損ねたな。
敵討ち。敵討ち。
娘よ。
Oh wow. Oh wow.
用意されたレールの上の一生ではあったが。
レール？
お前たち人間のおかげで、まあ多少やりごたえのある良い人生であったよ。
See, that's a phrase itself.
命の気配。
賢者の石だ。
これが大丈夫か。
あそこまで連れて行ってくれ。
錬成人は壊れてるぞ。
構わん。中心なのだ、あそこが。
分かった。
兄ちゃん、正直俺の中の憎しみは消えていない。なのにその憎しみの相手をアメストリスを助けようとしている。兄者は生の流れと負の流れと言ったが、
No, that's like a contradiction right there. Mujun. Yeah. I didn't know how to say it. I just know like spear and or halberd and shield is contradiction.
純したその両方を抱えている俺はどこへ流れていくのだろうか。
Ah, okay, that's what they're doing. So it's the second part, 1, 2, 3. Third part of the plan.
Okay,
wait. Dama. I know it's like Zama Miruda. So Zama. Let's see. Funzori. Funzori kaiteta. Asoni. Funzori kaiteta.
好き放題やってくれやがったなこの野郎。クソ真理と一緒にてめえもぶっ飛ばす。
King Bradley. I like how they're doing silent. They don't always do a silent card if the person hasn't died yet. I mean, if it seems like though if they die, they do a silence card, like without doing the Fullmetal Alchemist.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
今のは練炭術なのか。
いや、兄が作り出したものだ。兄は錬金術の研究をしていた。そこから発展して真の練炭術も研究し始めた。練炭術は大地の気の流れを利用する術だ。この国の錬金術は地殻エネルギーを利用する。
Oh yeah, that's the magma core. Tectonic plates.
だが、兄は気づいたのだ。錬金術師はそれを十分に使い切れていないと。地殻エネルギーと術者の間に何か阻害する要素がある。
Blocking? Oh, mono. 害する。阻害する。邪魔して。
この国に入った時に感じた。
あれ。予想。要素。
地下を人が這いずり回っているような感覚。
這いずる。
そうだ、おそらく国中の地下に張り巡らされた。
うん。
賢者の石。
おじさまはみんなの魂を元に戻す錬成人を。
ああ、うまくいった。スカーがやった逆転の錬成人はこの国の
逆転
錬金術を正すものだ。
正す。Oh, correct.
スカーの兄は長い研究の結果、この国の錬金術に疑念を抱き、
疑念 doubt suspicion okay 疑念の抱き
さらに国土錬成人の存在にたどり着いた。そこでそれをベースに練炭術で上書きし、
Kugimiya.
賢者の石の力を無効にする。
Not effective? Override. 賢者の石の力を無効にする。
逆転の錬成陣を編み出した。
逆転。
これで賢者の石によって阻害されていた知覚エネルギーを存分に使える。
存分に使える。
このままガンガン行け。奴に賢者の石を使わせるんだ。
See if this. このままガンガン行け。
いつかエネルギー切れを起こす。
いつかっていつだよ。
わからんがやるしかない。
食らえ。
懐かしいね。前の俺が入った風呂じゃねえか。俺そう入った。
どけグリード。
動くな。そのままゆっくり。
崩壊注意か。
少佐。
Right, where are we at? 1646? 崩壊注意か。少佐。That's interesting. Did he just steal their souls?
やつめ、賢者の石を作りに行ったな。
およ。はい。ついでにあんたを安全なところに。
すまない。肝心な時に役に立たんとは。
Essential point, or
兄さん。あれ、先に行ってろ。こいつは俺に用があるらしい。ある、行くよ。負けるんじゃないよ、エド。はい。あんた。ってゆっくりしてる場合じゃないのよ。大佐をお願い。大佐。やっつけなきゃならない奴が上にいるから行くわね。
やっつけなきゃならない。
怪我ですか大佐。
目をやられた。注意。君の傷の具合はどうだ。
またあなたは。ご自分の心配をなさってください。目が。
君はまだ戦えるか。
はい。若。
グリードだよ。
だ
たくお前こんなとこまでついて。
ラーズ。そうか、死んだのか。満ち足りた顔しやがって腹の立つ。
グリード、ホムンクルスの矜持を捨てるとは情けない。なんでお前らあんな父親に復讐してるんだ。つまらないことを聞きますね。生みの親に従うのは当たり前じゃないですか。つまんねえのはそっちだ。当たり前だって。 自分の頭で考えようとしない思考停止野郎だ。
Oh, wait a minute. Stop thinking? 思考停止。思考停止。
わかんねえ。なんでお前があいつの言いなりになってんのか。お前がそんなボロボロになってんのに気にも留めないんだぞ。
気にも留めない。
だからどうしたというのです。君たち人間の常識を私たちホムンクルスに当てはめないでください。
That's creepy. 当てはめない。
この入れ物はもう持ちません。ですが父上と同じくホーエンハイムの血を引くあなたは我らが兄弟も同然。エドワード・エルリック、私に入れ物を肉体をよこしなさい。
うん。
いただけません。
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Something happened there. Kimberly. Oh, Kimberly's still in there.
実にいただけませんね。ホムンクルスプライド。
キンブリー、まさかこの魂の暴風雨の中で。
暴風。暴風。
自我を保っていられるわけが。
Should be like protect.
暴風笑わせないでいただきたい。エンサの声など私にとっては子守歌に等しい。
エンサ、恨み、恨み、like a sigh? Evil laugh? What? Grudge, resentment. It's way off. The grudge, I guess that would be right there. Insa. Urami. I wouldn't have guessed that was grudge. Insa. Insa no koi na do. Watashi ni totte wa komori uta. Like a lullaby? Shinagara uta. Yeah, lullaby, nursery song. Komori uta.
なぜ邪魔をするのですか、キングリー。
まあなたがホムンクルスの矜持を持ったまま戦っていれば何もしなかったのですがね。
矜持。Okay.
ホムンクルスの誇りだ、矜持だとのたまっておきながら。
Pride. I'll ode it. Yeah, it's not even. Yeah, there's no frequency for it. Pride. Kyoji. It's not that.
我が身に危険が訪れた途端、下等生物と見下していた人間の入れ物に逃げ込もうとする。あなた美しくない。あなたはエドワード・エルリックを分かっていない。
者の意志にして逆に私に侵入してくるだと。捕らえたぜセリム。やめろやめろ。
Jeez. That was vicious. Hmm.
お前の本体か。
Hmm.
全部終わったらブラッドレー夫人に謝りに行かなきゃな。そこで待ってろよバカセリム。
All right, let's go to 2358.
剛腕がうなり
剛腕優れた腕前まだしろ剛腕がなりとどろく
王がとどろく。斧が存在をかけ人々は視力の限りを尽くす。そう最後の戦いが今ここに。次回鋼の錬金術師フルメタルアルケミスト第62話凄絶なる反撃。
凄絶な、凄絶非常にすさまじいextreme at counterattack, right? Oh yeah, 反撃 yeah 凄絶なる反撃。
何かを得るためには同等の代価が必要。
代価。Oh shoot, I forgot to do the Alright, let me turn on a couple more lights. It's a little dark. Actually, I kind of want some more coffee too. So let me go and get that as well. That was a good episode. That was a very good episode. And it does feel like, I guess they were saying Father was playing some tricks. Basically, he was interfering with the, I'm assuming he was interfering with the alchemy to try to absorb some of the energy himself. Maybe I was misunderstanding that. All right. Sorry. Huh? Okay, cool. All right, let's get started. By the way, LJ, thank you for your help with that. Or I don't know if you're doing it like for your own benefit or whatnot, but yeah, it's kind of cool to like where you're offering a better translation as to what those words mean. And I've also said it before, by the way. This is a dictionary, so this means you're getting a word described to you. That's a dictionary. What you see down here is not a dictionary. This is a translation thesaurus. So if you see this word, now a thesaurus means gives you different meanings of word. But instead it's, so in this way it's going to, hey, what does this word mean in another language? So it's not a definition. It's basically like give you a different word for this. So here's a Japanese word. What are some words that mean this Japanese word? So that's more of a thesaurus than a dictionary. But, you know, obviously, like I say, so in English to Japanese, or Japanese English thesaurus, it would probably be a better way of the way a lot of these books are in these programs, and that would be the difference. And the reason, and I think it was it Matt vs. Japan, but actually it wasn't just him. Also the Yoga as well kind of mentioned the problem with some issue if you go straight monolingual as far as dictionaries are concerned. It's important, like definitely a dictionary like this is important if it's like a very simple explanation as to what situation. But if you get like, you know, multiple entries, well, that's not a very good, you know, you can, well, let me pause right there as well. If you understand the context, what the sentence is coming from, then you can look at the various art sections, like 1, 2, 3, or 4 different ways the word can be used, and then notice, okay, cool, then this word means in this particular situation, it's applying to this particular context. So there is that benefit as well. But that also means, though, that, you know, there could be other ways the word could be used. Which, the reason why I mentioned that is that's a failing if you ever do Morphman. Morphman works by, you know, again, analyzing text and looking for unique words. That's what it's trying to do. It doesn't know, like, unless you can warn it, and there's no way for it to know, like, oh, by the way, this word is being used different ways. It can't do that. It doesn't have that ability. Now, there's probably some AI out there like DeepL that could sort of do that. Like, it notices, like, yeah, this word is not being used in a different way, because again, it's going to give a more natural translation of a sentence, and so it has to. But it may not be able to, depending on how the system's designed. Like, it's not going to be able to, you know, tell you that it's being used in a different way. It just does. It just does it. And again, I don't know. I don't know how haven't seen the program being put to full use. I just know DeepL works better than Google Translate at the moment. And although I'm sure there's going to be a battle on that, because there's some benefits to being able to, you know, rapidly translate stuff. I mean, we're talking like stuff that was like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, something like was proof of the existence of God type level stuff. But now we're getting it where it's like, where you could be talking in real time to someone and hearing their reply in real time in the, let's say, over a video conference, and then, but everything's being translated and it actually matches the person's voice as well. Not only will they translate it, but then they change the audio, but still match the tone of the person speaking. So you also get the emotions across as well. it'll be kind of interesting to see. I mean, it is reaching that point, and that kind of almost defeats a lot of like people who feel like they want to learn a language. It's just because then, or learn a second language if technology will do it for you. Like, but again, there's a benefit to be able to learn another language. Same reason, like just because you can get in a car doesn't mean there's not a benefit being able to run long distance. Just because you can have machinery that can lift, forklifts and stuff doesn't mean there's no reason to not increase the strength and physical fitness of your own body just because we have technology that surpasses what the human body can do. So again, there's benefits to improving oneself, even if technology makes that kind of like pointless for the purposes of work, paid labor. But we're approaching that point. I mean, in a century or so, I think that's going to be a really big issue. But as long as there's also reasonable solutions to that as well. But I don't see that the way the U.S. is going with the capitalist approach, it's not going to be pretty. Whereas if you go more of a socialist approach, more of a social contract socialist approach, which again you still want capitalism, but you agree to take care of the people, that the people are taken care of, then it's not just treated as just raw resource. Then yeah, things can probably go a little bit better. Eventually, you're just not going to need humans to do work, and then what the fuck do you do? When all this stuff was developed by humans, but then you kind of like defeated the reason to even have humans there, then okay, what's the whole purpose then? Okay. Enough of that. Let's get started. So that was how long did that take? It felt like I was not pausing. I was pausing a lot, but it still went like it went by pretty fast. All right, let's go.
こいつまた賢者の石を作ろうとしていた。人間はおとなしく石になっておればいい。なんでそんなに下等生物扱いするかね。人間からは賢者の石ができる。賢者の石からはホムンクルスができる。ではホムンクルスからは何ができる？何を生む？破壊しかもたらさぬ存在を神と呼べるのか？完全な存在になったつもりだろうが、どん詰まりなんだよお前は！そうかね。ならば人間を生もう。
Oh, that's creepy.
不老不死を手に入れた。私はまだ生きている。クセルクセソン。
肉体だ。
オエンハイム、みんな貴様。
ゴリウス、
無事だったか。
ちょうどいい。俺も乗せてけ。状況分かってるやつが必要だろ。
そうだ、一体何が起こってるんだ。
お父様っつう親玉ホムンクルスが暴れてんだよ。こっから先戦えねえやつは置いてけ。ほら、そこのカエルと女二人降りろ。怪我してんだろ。
バカを言うな。私が太陽指揮戦で誰がする。
知ったことか。さっさと降りろ。指揮とかなんとか言ってる場合じゃねえんだよ。
貴様に指図される。
か本部から通信です。
作戦本部、私だ。そっちはどうなっている。
閣下、中央司令部が半分吹っ飛びました。
わお。
なんと。
来たもんと連絡がつきません。それが奴の力だ。
一体そいつは。
見た目は普通の人間だ。ただしうん十万人分の賢者の石を体内に持っていて、そのエネルギーで神の力とやらを取り込んでいる。錬金術師ならこのヤバさがわかるだろう。
賢者の石。
普通の人間はここで降りな。
私の部下が上でまだ戦っている。私は彼らの指揮官なのだ。
閣下、本部が変わってほしいと。
なんだ。
ご心配なく閣下。我々ブリック勢はボスが不在でもひるまず動くことができる軍隊だということを。
ひるまず。
お忘れですか。
武器庫、イエロー隊、生きてるか。
東門ブルー隊、応答せよ。聞けば怪我をしているそうではありませんか。どうぞそこで見守っていてください。
アレックス。
はい。
通信機を持っていけ。必ず勝て。
言われるとも。
よし、行くぞ注意。おいおい、二人とも怪我人だろうが。奴の賢者の石を私が焼き尽くす。そのためには注意の助けが必要だ。
いいから早く行こうぜ。
私の仕事は和歌をお守りすることだ。
泉よ、みんなを頼む。
それでは行きますぞ。
Really? Scars stay behind? Oh gosh, okay.
こんなところで死んだか。
死んだか。
貴様が倒したのか。
ここに来た時、すでに満身創痍だった。
そうでなければ俺も危なかった。
バッカニア隊は秦国の者と協力し、ブラッドレーに致命傷を与え、
should be a weak point. 致命傷 is a weakness. Yeah, it's like a fatal wound.
どうだブラッドレー、私の部下は強かったろう。
May.
正面無事だったのね。よかった。
Whoa.
メイ、よかった。生きてた。
アルフォンス様、そんな、私を頑張って。アルフォンス様、アルフォンス様。
先生先生先生、生きてるよ。ホエンハイムさんがギリギリ守ってくれた。
Jeez.
ホエンハイム、おいしっかりしろ。
まず2つ。
Hawkeye?
目標は金髪挑発の男。鋼の錬金術師と間違えるなよ。
I'm not sure about this one. Like, Chohatsu. Okay, Chohatsu. Kinpatsu Chohatsu. Yeah, okay, I guess in Kinpatsu Chohatsu. Yeah, I don't. Maybe the guy that's naked.
ダメだ、これぐらいじゃびくともしないぞ。
嘘だろ。奴に反撃の隙を与えるな。はいさ。くそ、涼しい顔してやがる。了解。勝ったへつなげ。本当ですか。攻撃やめ。捨てな。
Fullmetal Alchemist. Fullmetal Alchemist.
Well, he's not really father anymore, right? All the except for actually no, okay, there's still Greed. Like about saying, like all the homunculuses are dead. I guess Salim may still technically be alive, like, but he's in a form like with Envy. Alright, where are we at here? 12, 17. There we go. 当たったか。
12時の方向に修正。
目が見えんから火加減がわからん。
加減する必要はありません。距離50、いえ53。
どうもこの手合わせ連成はしっくりこん。
By the way, I will add, I think I'm not sure if they said this before. Like, if you ever seen snipers, the senior sniper is the guy who's not using the rifle. He's the one that's actually the spotter. That's the senior sniper. That's the more experienced person. Doesn't take as they obviously need a lot of skill for firing the bullet, but a lot of it is like overseeing the full situations. Because obviously, the person is focused in. You can't see the full situation. You can only see what's through the scope, because that's what he's concentrating on. I thought that was interesting. So she's playing the scout or she's playing the I guess the guy, I forgot the term for it. Yeah, the thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, こいつは便利だな。
反撃の隙を与えるな。奴に賢者の石を使わせ続けろ。
Feels like if they can get under him, like go up through the ground, because I don't know if the shield is gonna be like full 360 in all.
すげえ。あの力がありゃ、世界は全部俺のものにできるぜ。おいグリード。貴様の言ってた世界を手に入れるってのはこういうことだったのか。おうよ。あれを手に入れれば世の中は全部俺のものだ。俺の中の空っぽがこれで埋まるかもしれねえ。生まれてからずっと続いてきた渇きが収まるかもしれねえ。
No, it's like a thirst, right? Kawaki. Osamaru. It should be Osamaru, right? Yeah.
浅ましいなグリード。
Asamashina. Very shallow, right? Yeah. Miserable, wretched, shameful.
お前が欲しいものはそれじゃないはずだ。黙ってろ正面ガキが。俺は強欲のグリードだ。
正面。
いいものは必ず手に入れな。虫焼きだ。
Ooh, clever. Reflective. Oh, yeah, it's like a baking oven or yeah. Mushiyaki.
まったく聞こう。あの防壁をなんとかせねば。
弾が足りん。もっと持ってこい。無駄なことを。人間ごときは私に指一本触れることができん。
いいところへ来たな、グリード。親孝行な息子よ。
Very obedient child. Filial piety. 親孝行。親孝行。Yeah, filial piety.
ちょうど賢者の石が欲しかったところだ。もらい受ける。
I think that would be a problem if father does that, because the end's still there and he still has a kind of an influence on greed, so that could influence father.
なんつってな、防壁外さなきゃ賢者の石は奪えないよな。だが逆に自分が神の力とやらを奪われるとは思わなかったのか。俺が全てもらい受ける。
Jeez, okay. I said there's only just action going on, so there's really not much I can say about it, other than just pay attention to what's going on. I mean, feels like the end of every role-playing game I've ever played. Like, when you're going against the big boss, you're basically, this is the reason why you save up all your life potions and your power attacks and everything else, because you're going to be using it all on the final boss. That's why you save it all, even though usually you've leveled up so high he ends up not being that big of a fight, but it feels like they're giving everything here, so that's kind of cool. Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, you noticed that he didn't block with the shield. That's right. Something happened. Oh, jeez. Jeez, okay. Just rebar through the armor. I know it's anime, but that just, yeah. They are just all sorts of fucked up.
Mei, 頼みがある。兄さんは右腕を犠牲にして僕の魂を戻してくれた。だったら
逆も可能なはず。
アルフォンス様、
道を作ってくれるだけでいい。できるだろう。
そんなことしたらアルフォンス様が。
時間がない。お願いだ。こんなこと頼めるの君しかいない。
1人間エネルギー、エドワードよこせ。
何をする気だ。やめろ。おい、あら。
勝てよ兄さん。もういいのかい。うん、あとは兄さんを信じる。
魂入ったんだな。あいつはお前を取り戻しに来るか。
来る、絶対に。
何を犠牲にするか楽しみだ。
Where are we at? 12. Kind of again. I'm just looking at the video instead of the text on screen because it's it's really not too much.
そうだ。俺が欲しかったのはこいつらみたいな仲間だったんだな。
待てよドサンニャー。俺たちとお前の格の違いってやつを見せてやら。
So, all right, let's get to the narration. Sorry, let's see, 2350.
その力は全てをもたらすものだった。だが躊躇はしない。
Hesitation. Jucho, that's hesitation. Chucho. だが躊躇はしない。
大切なものを守るためなら。次回、鋼の錬金術師フルメタルアルケミスト第63話、扉の向こう側。
The opposite side, the other side of the door? Oh, yeah, the other side of the gateway. 扉。扉の向こう側。
すべてを見届けて。
届けて。すべてを見届けて。
そのものは行く。
Cool. All right. Wow. And let's see. I started. That was about 10 minutes after. Yeah. So again, this took about 30 minutes to get through because it was like mainly just action. There was not too much to really read up on. So it feels weird because again, I've been watching this. I started this earlier in the year. You know, again, the first 2 seasons. After I did the Let's Read, I watched up to about episode 50 or something. Normally, then I eventually, you know, I stopped watching that, and I thought I was always going to finish. I just never got back into it, even though I really liked it. And again, I liked it because of what happened with Attack on Titan, and I really thought, you know, that's a good show. This is a good show. Let me finish this one. And so again, I've got to enjoy this show some, you know, over the course of 30 or 30 plus of these Let's Reads. And it's been fun. So I like that now, you know, again, you just enjoy the ending. Like in the build up, the payoff is worth the build. Now, yeah, you get this goofy shit that, you know, always happens about everyone cheering on Al when it's like, hey, his shield's not up. Why don't you all start firing on? Don't just start. Although maybe it's one of those like, hey, maybe he doesn't need our help or anything. But I feel like, no, maybe you should all start shooting on the guy as well, since his shield's down. He can't block stuff, or something. I don't know. It was interesting seeing the sacrifice that Alphonse made. I didn't see that coming. I mean, it made sense because again, like, okay, you know, wouldn't Ed still be fucked? But it's like, no, not actually, because you know he can at least, you know, still do alchemy if he can, you know, connect his hands. And that makes sense. And then of course the attack, because he'd kind of been weakened, you know, that it was kind of cool. Like if it was not for that full on assault by everyone, you know, trying to wear him down enough to where he has to now have to block it body by body. Then that led to the attack. Okay, again, he did one final counter attack. Cool. That threw everyone out. That basically got everyone else out of the fight. And even Al was down for the count. You know, again, they're all pretty much down for the count. Cool. And, you know, he made one final sacrifice in order to, again, sacrifice a rook in order to protect, you know, all of a sudden make the knight or the queen, however you want to interpret, if you want to put it in chess terminologies. And, you know, again, make this piece, bring this piece, sacrifice yourself so you bring another piece back to full power, maybe promote a pawn to a queen if you want to keep it that way. Yeah, it was really cool. You know, even with the, you know, the tropes that are in there, you know, again, everyone cheering on the final battle instead of participating like they should be doing. Yeah, like I said, I'm enjoying the payoff. And the payoffs is going on for, like, you notice, like, I mean, this finale, this, you know, again, has been happening for like episodes, and it doesn't feel like it's dragging on. Like, you know, again, they've taken out Celine, they've taken out Bradley, but they're all taken out in a satisfactory way. And even with Greed, you know, kind of having his insight, like what he was, you know, really wanted was the, you know, the friend, the true power was in the friends we made along the way. But, he just having that type of camaraderie, which again, you kind of saw that with Greed, he wanted, you know, a clan, you know, wasn't so much as to lead slaves. He wanted to be a leader among those that want him as a leader, if that makes, which is a better type of leader. Like, something that they put, again, they put him as, the one to follow. Which again, and that's a build up from what felt like a throwaway from way back when, but again, it pays off. Yeah, it was the guy wrote, I don't know who wrote it. I didn't even, I barely know the names of the people who wrote Attack on, I know it's like one for like One Punch Man. Yeah. I don't really know the guy's name who writes Attack on Titan, so I guess I should, but I don't. Because I never really cared too much about the author so much as their works. And so if a work is interesting, it's good to read. Like I don't have like George R.R. Martin. I really don't care much about his history, other than I like what he's written in the form of A Song of Ice and Fire. So it makes it great, and I'm looking forward to seeing that book end whenever that happens. Because again, because the payoff here looks like it's a satisfactory payoff. It makes you then want to when you rewatch it, you look forward to it because you know it's going somewhere and it's going to be. And you don't feel that for the TV show, but books are not the TV show, so that's good. Whereas the TV show, at least you can have satisfaction to watch up to season 4 and enjoy it. Anything past season 4 is probably going to suck. I don't recommend anything Game of Thrones past season 4 anyway, if it comes to that. Unless you want to watch it once to see how it ends and understand why we're saying, like, yeah, the creators, the producers of that show really dropped the ball once they ran out of source material. Even though they kind of knew it was all going to go. They only knew how the author, as he was writing it, was going. So the author was given the endings as he saw it in his mind at that point in time, some 10 years ago or whatever, when he gave them the breakdown as to where the show was going. But you notice that I'm pretty sure if I read the manga of, let's say, Fullmetal Alchemist, like, since it probably took place over, I'm guessing, close to a decade, then, the story developed. Like, maybe there were changes that he decided, and the story was improved maybe in reflection as to how the story, so that maybe changed where he intended it to go. So it may have ended up somewhat like he envisioned, but maybe changed to reflect, like, over 10 years, the author grows as a person. So maybe he reflects that in what he's writing over that decade. Even if 10 years prior he had a vision and a goal, he was willing to adapt it. And again, but it was stayed consistent, and it was a satisfactory story. And again, I'm saying this not knowing what the last 2 episodes are. Last 2 episodes could be complete crap, and it completely destroys the series. I doubt it, but again, there's a possibility. Let's see. Hiromu Arakawa is the pen name of the lady who wrote this. Okay. Okay. Hiromu Arakawa. Yeah, I really should look at that. And so it's a pen name, may not be the person's name itself. And yeah, maybe they, now I will say, if you find an author that writes a story you like, it is good to look up other stuff they've written, and it might be enjoyable to read as well. Like, if you've liked One Punch Man, the main author of that, also has written Mob Psycho 100, which is, again, I've enjoyed that as a series. So, check that out. I don't know what works the guy who does Attack on Titan, if he's done any other works, but same would go with script writers. If you find a drama that's enjoyable, find out who the script writer is and see if they've done other scripts for other shows. See how they've done other shows. Or if you like the visuals, the look of a show, or how the feel of a show, then maybe check out the director and see if the director has done other TV shows. And it's not a guarantee, but like a good example would be someone who kept it short, but the person who wrote True Detective. If you look at the True Detective series, that's like 3 different stories. Each season was a different story, and I've enjoyed all 3. But oddly enough, I thought the first one, the third one was actually I would place it a little better than the first one, and it was still a good story. For example, but I would look up what this guy wrote, and definitely check out his other stuff. But for Japanese, I would say the reason why I mentioned that is because there was the guy who wrote Tiger and Dragon, but he also wrote Ikebukuro Westgate Park, was an amazing. I mean, Kitsuratsu Cat's Eye was a very fun drama, but Ikebukuro Westgate Park, not the recent anime. That's just following along the book series that was done by an author. The adaptation to a TV show, I liked his adaptation in the TV live action drama some 20 years prior. Really good. It's like one of the best dramas I've seen, and so I recommend. There's a couple of throwaway. It does feel like there's a couple of throwaway episodes for a 10 or 11 episode series. There's, that's kind of a big throwaway, but for the most part, again, I think it's really enjoyable. I recommend it. And it's always had the reason why Ikebukuro Westgate Park is interesting is it holds it was the fact that I think it was a government or something, but they were basically told you are not going to make a sequel to this because Japanese youth in real life were emulating what was happening in the show. Like they were basically creating games modeled after what they saw in the show because it was essentially encouraging gang-like behavior. They were saying, no, if you do the special, it's going to be basically you look at the special. The special was a fucking comedy. It was a tragedy because it was turned into instead of it being gangs fighting over turf wars, it became a ramen shop. They were fighting over ramen. Again, they made it a parody of the series, which completely destroyed it. By the way, it was horrible. I watched it, but it was like, it was made the worse because again the series was such a good series. So again, I recommend. Now I haven't seen the anime, and I haven't read the books, but I think it's like a 10 or so light novels worth of books for Ikebukuro Westgate Park by the. Maybe the anime is good. I don't know. I mean, if you have mentioned it. Let's see. Pen paper saying, if I recall correctly, this was talk about Fullmetal Alchemist was written over 10 years. So yeah, it's definitely say the author has grown over the course of this show. And you probably notice like with the manga, like the anime, the artwork improves. I noticed that you can notice that with Attack on Titan. If you look on the way the author, because it's different in the U.S. Just it's very common in Japan for the author and the artist to be the same person. One Punch Man is a unique situation in that the author is the artist of the webcomic, and then another artist then came up and essentially redrew everything. But the story writer is still the original author, but basically he expanded on the stories, which makes it interesting. That's why I saw the anime first. The anime was just hilarious. It's a comedy. I guess satire would be a good way of approaching it, or spoof. It spoofs the tropes in various shonen manga. Is it shonen? Yeah. Shonen. Sorry, shonen. Shonen is a direction. So So yeah, I compliment the show, and in fact, I'm pretty sure when I'm done here, I'm gonna make a post on the Fullmetal Alchemist Reddit and mention like, okay, I finally finished the show. Damn it! And the only thing I can say besides saying it's an amazing show is it's talking about that one fucking scene that I still bitch about, which is again Sloth versus Armstrong. It would be like if, oh God, it would be like imagine if Bradley's wife goes up to father and just starts slapping him around, using the power of the loss of her love is the reason. You would say no. There's nothing established. They can. She could even do anything close to resembling that. No, not head to head. Okay, it just doesn't work that way. Yeah, what was established, like if you absorb a human and their spirit is able to hold its own, because again the spirits don't mix, they're still there individually, but there's like a tidal wave of all these other spirits. So like in Pride was Kimberly, and that was kind of like I wasn't quite figuring out what was happening in the conversation, but it was established that hey, with greed, that the human soul can still hold its own, and even actually, kind of exert some influence. So I was wondering, is that what's going to happen if he absorbs greed? Would that mean that the spirit would have a say in the matter as to what's happening within Father's head? Because again, we already saw that's what Hohenheim did. He was trying to get the spirits to fight against Father, and when Father absorbed them, So again, it was established in the story, and that's trickery in a smart way. But again, you don't establish this guy's super powerful. But hey, let me just use I'm just gonna still be able to go toe to toe with him. No, sorry, you just don't. And there I am bitching about that scene again. So okay, but for the most part, again, it's great anime. Just was a weak scene in my opinion. What's wrong with repeatedly being hit with a truck? Just about, thank you for hitting my shoulder and knocking it back into place. It's like, now that's funny. That would have been funny if, like, Sloth. But again, Sloth smeared. I mean, he slashed his hand down. This guy, this fully grown human adult male, was made into a smear on the concrete. Okay, that's and again, it just Armstrong has the ability. Let me just turn off I don't know. I'm bitching about it. Sorry, but when you saw here was cool. You saw everyone throwing everything at Father, just enough to where he's weakened enough to where you can at least go physically confront him, and even then, he was still powerful. And it took the sacrifice of Al to even just get it to where now Edward is able to fight and make. I guess Father is like, he's still dangerous, but he's showing now he can be attacked. So that's cool. We're gonna leave anyway. I'm gonna leave that there. That was a fun 2 episodes, really fun, and quite enjoyed it. Enjoyed it a lot. Enjoy talking about it. Yeah. I just never talk about it in Japanese because I can't speak Japanese. So, yeah, my Japanese level sucks. So anyway, so this has been Let's Read Japanese. We'll do one more episode of Fullmetal Alchemist. After that, we'll be starting the series on seasons 2 and 3 of Attack on Titan. I think it's 2, 3, and 4. I think that's how they're playing it out as 3 seasons. So seasons 2, 3, and 4 of Attack on about I want to say 34 episodes right there. After that, I'll be going back into dramas. I kind of have my idea of what dramas to do, but I might also still do the audiobooks reading novels as well. Probably keep that in there. It's probably a better idea because, you get with the videos like this, you tend to get distracted by the visuals instead of the reading part of it when there's like not much reading to be done. Okay. So this has also been the Let's Learn Japanese. If you like the Let's Learn Japanese project, like to support it, the links to the Patreon down below for you to become a patron. Show support that way. If you like to what I do, the methods in which I do, you can hire me as a tutor, not necessarily to learn as teaching Japanese, but more of a technical assistance to help you with getting set up or along various stages or discussions as to kind of help you go in the right direction and smooth that part out. So yeah, again, that can be done via the Patreon as well. All right, thank you all very much. Thank you to LJ, Pen and Paper, the others that were making comments. Pen and Paper, are there 2 more episodes left of this? Yeah, episodes 63 and 64. Then this is done. Now there might be specials. I'm not going to worry about the specials. Sorry. If there's anything more than that, I don't know. And again, amazing story. And it feels like it's coming to a satisfactory conclusion. I'm not sure maybe I'm jumping the gun here, but it's feeling satisfactory, and that's kind of cool. Thank you all very much. I'll see you when I see you. All right. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. All right, later, guys.